established the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, and you also mentioned before the Nuremberg trial and the Tokyo ones that were the example after the Second World War, and these other two are following track. And now we also have the International Criminal Tribunal that has been set up and will soon start prosecuting the perpetrators or violators of war crimes and crime of genocide and crimes against humanity, and also certain types of aggression.
You mentioned the International Criminal Tribunal. And now, is this the court system that the U.S. is refusing to sign the treaty on?
Correct. That's
so what is the rest of the world saying about the fact that the United States refuses to sign this treaty?
Of course, it would be of very much interest that the United States sign the treaty and be part of the treaty, being the largest country in the West.
And the promoter of freedom and democracy.
And definitely, freedom and democracy, and moreover, that's what United States is basically doing. So in the interventions that having all over the world. When I think of the Kosovo time, for example, of under the presidency of Clinton, that's what was being done. So that nowadays there are certain concerns, though. The United States does have the concern of its own soldiers. It has its presence, a military presence in a lot of missions, peacekeeping missions, or in other missions around the world, and just because of certain political discrepancies or political conflicts, different countries might just decide or choose to prosecute or ask for prosecution for U.S. soldiers, and so definitely U.S. has to protect them.
I think the fact that the U.S. is refusing to sign this treaty hits the hypocrisy of many of these international human rights issues on the core. Here we are, like you said, the leader of freedom and democracy and championing human rights around the world, yet the United States, and understandably so, doesn't want to be questioned about the ideals of why, how, if, when, and where.
Yeah, that is quite that would be quite a long issue to discuss and to go through. But if you always have to see both parts and the arguments that they are brought. So a lot of international lawyers bring the issue that basically there is no reason for the U.S. not to sign the Rome Treaty because still there is within the statute of the International Criminal Court, the U.S. can still prosecute the violators even in its own country. But on the other hand, the concern of the United States for its own soldiers all over the world in those missions is just one. So it's quite a question of dispute and but it's a long way to go in order to discuss it.
Right, and I understand that the United States is being criticized for the recent judgment against the United States for detaining the Mexican prisoners of legal counsel.
Oh, right. I believe you are referring to the latest Avino case.
What is it called?
Avino case. So Avino and other Mexican citizens. Basically, Mexico brought the case to the International Court of Justice regarding a violation on the part of the United States of the Article 36 on the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations. So you are right. It does go to the fact that one of the rights that the foreign nationals have in a country, if they are arrested and detained, is that they contact their government. So normally their consular officials should have been notified, or the detainee should have been notified that they do have this right. And the International Court of Justice decided against the United States in the case.
Right. I believe we have an additional slide discussing the United Nations committees of when these issues do come up. We've got the United Nations Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, and the UN Commission of Human Rights. I believe the next slide discusses the protections of the different courts. For example, you've got the Council of Europe, the European Court of Human Rights, the European Union Court of Justice. Now, should other types of claims come up, these are the places where individuals or countries will go to?
Yes, absolutely. Once whoever feels that his or her rights are violated will ask for redress. And if it doesn't work in the domestic courts, then there are that's why these international guarantees are, these minimum standards of guarantees. And side by side with their existing in paper, we do have the mechanism for implementing them. One is through the reporting procedure, and the other is through the courts and commissions, as you mentioned.
I think many of our viewers will be surprised to find out that there are so many international legal systems regarding human rights, and it seems so complicated, but you are saying that if someone has a cause, that there is a way to make your voice heard by going through these different processes.
Absolutely, and since we are in the United States, we can speak of the Inter-American System of Human Rights Protection. So there are conventions that have been signed and ratified by a lot of countries. So a lot of countries are the member states to these conventions, and then there is the Commission, the Inter-American Commission of Human Rights, where they can ask for redress, and there is also the Inter-American Court of Human Rights.
Right.
Basically, the Inter-American Court located in San Jose, Costa Rica, and the Inter-American Commission is in Washington, D.C.
Excellent. Stay tuned for more information on human rights and the international legal system after this break.
One more correct answer, and you're the big winner in the Social Security quiz. And here we go. What will the Social Security statement tell you about your retirement? A, the date you should retire. B, how much you can expect your Social Security benefits to be. Or C, what you will owe in taxes.
I know this. I remember getting my Social Security statement in the mail, and I know it's B.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes, that's my final answer.
Well, you're right. Congratulations.
Retirement planning is not a game. Watch your mail for your Social Security statement and use it to plan your financial future. Remember, Social Security should only be part, not all, of your retirement income. The future is in your hands.
Welcome back to Miami's Global Connection. Roza, it's amazing to think that so many atrocities have occurred around the world based on ethnic cleansing and our inability to see a core denominator within our ethnic and religious belief systems.
That's the point. That's why we need to be educated with the fact that we need to be tolerant and we need to get to know cultures and to interact with cultures, because we all have a lot to share, and being human beings, we have to live together. We are not isolated islands, so not necessarily a certain system of belief is the best, but we have to know each and every one and respect them.
And that's why your program here at St. Thomas University is so unique to Miami. I'd like to thank Dr. Roza Pati of St. Thomas University for taking the time to share her insights and expertise on such very important issues. Today we discussed the complexities of our international legal systems, and a number of human rights controversies. Central to both issues requires us all to take a hard look at when religious, ethnic, and cultural beliefs become evil. The United Nations headquarters in New York prominently displays Norman Rockwell's mosaic of the Golden Rule, stating, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." Thank you for joining us today. I'm Whitney Belker with Miami's Global Connection.